Hello, and welcome to the final video in the Autumn Bliss series. I've really had some fun creating these videos and also making up a great journal full of memories and ideas and where we are right now. So yeah, it's been fun. So today I'm going to be making a pumpkin patch, and right now I'm just adding watercolor to the background. I'm actually going to create a page where I'm going to tell a story of where I'm going to be going on a pumpkin patch that we're planning out probably in the next weekend or so. And so I just really wanted to go ahead and create a journaling page. And so I'm just adding watercolor in. The green is actually almost supposed to be like a turquoisey color, but I don't know if I had green on my paintbrush or what, but it came out more of a green color, which is fine. No worries there. So I'm just kind of creating a background to go along with um, to show a little kind of like a scene. We're going to be making a pumpkin patch scene. So now that we're gonna just kind of let this sit for a minute and dry, and then I'm gonna come back. Here we are. And I have this adorable fence stamp that it's funny how I only use it around fall, but I'm going to be just kind of adding a gate in the background, a fence line, with this stamp so that it's kind of going to split up the page a little bit more where I can add my pumpkins to the bottom. And really, I'm going to be doing my wording at the top there. So yeah, so we're just gonna before I meant to also bring in I before I added the watercolor, I did another clear acrylic base, so it's kind of got some rough texture to it, which to me it makes it feels really kind of I love the feel of it. And it also helps things adhere a little better. This is my favorite Mod Podge we're going to be using right now. And but anyway, the watercolor, I was really surprised because at first it doesn't really stick very well, but then it ends up drying just perfectly fine. So I'm putting a layer of this Mod Podge down, and then I've cut out little different sizes of pumpkins, like tall ones, short ones, squatty ones. I've made them out of, like, right there's a piece of material. The one before that was a napkin, cardstock, just different patterns, leaf pattern, floral patterns, stripes, polka dots. I think I even got a star pattern in there. So I just really did a selected of papers and just kind of pre-cut the pumpkins. Now, I know I've mentioned it in um, journal some of my journals that I've did before this time of the year, but do you have a specific size pumpkin that you like? I personally love the tall, skinny ones, like the one I'm doing right there. I love the tall pumpkins. They're like my favorite, and they've been ever since I can remember, but I have a tendency to go for the tall ones. But anyway, so I'm just kind of layering these up. Like I said, I'm kind of making more of like a pumpkin patch scene. And I'm just really just adding all the different shapes there. I'm going to come back and add a little bit of paint to each of the pumpkins, and of course their stems, so they'll look more or less like a pumpkin versus right now where they just kind of look like little um, blobs of paint. I mean, blobs of cardstock. So yeah, so I just taken some green cardstock here, and I'm just cutting literally little bitty teeny tiny squares. And I'm just going to use those as our little stems there. So just taking some of that Mod Podge and adding them as little stems um, throughout the page onto the pumpkins. So, and then speaking of paint, I end up using acrylic, which you'll see here in just a moment. But it's basically just a kind of just to add a little bit of shadowing and things to the pumpkins. I actually like the way they look now, but I always like to come in and add a little bit more paint and then do some black outline on it later. That's kind of the look that I have going. But I didn't put stems on all of them, just here and there. For the most part, I put them on all of them, but not every single pumpkin because you don't see all the stems all the time. Um, so yeah, so there we have the pumpkin. Now, I wanted to also add something to my background. So I also use this stamp quite a bit this time of the year. It's a tree stamp. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites. I'm putting a two-tone of brown on there to just kind of give it a little bit of shadowing. And yeah, just kind of punching it where it's kind of off the page and over to the side just to give the page a little bit of height as well. But again, the sky I plan on using for my journaling. So now I also wanted to add a little cut piece of paper there. I love this pattern on the back of these journaling cards. Look how beautiful that is. So I'm just actually tearing some paper there. I'm going to put it at the top just to have a place to put either the date or if I'm able to pick up something from my I plan on going to the Jersey Barnyard here in LaGrange, and so I'm hoping I can pick up some ephemera from them and be able to add some to this page when I do my journaling. But if not, that's okay too. So, um, but just in case, I wanted to kind of have a little title onto my journaling page. So here I'm just taking two tones of orange and going to be adding just a little bit of this. Yeah, this orange ran out. It's all dried up. So I had to go find another one. But I'm actually adding just some coloring to my pumpkins, just a couple little shades here and there just to give it. What's fun about when you add paint to your paper pumpkin, it almost kind of gives it a fun little look of being painted. I don't know. It's a mixed media. You're adding layers upon layers of different types of media and things like that. Um, so yeah, so just kind of painting all. I didn't want to take away from the stripes and the material, and I still wanted to kind of have that to have those patterns because that's what makes this so fun is all the different textures and patterns. So I didn't want to put paint on all of the pumpkins. So just really and truly I did kind of like the orangey ones. And then I'm just kind of adding some dots here and there for leaves, for autumn leaves. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to be kind of coming in here and adding some green onto watercolor markers, these mermaid markers by Jane Davenport and Vicky Booten. And so I'm just kind of adding those to give some more texture onto the pumpkins and give it a little bit more shade with lines, etc. And also just keep in mind that I do come back in here with a ink pen, and I didn't do it here on camera, but if you look at the photo on Instagram, you'll see that I kind of did some outlining. So, all right, you guys. Well, this is going to wrap up this video. Keep in mind, I will be coming back and doing a final flip through. I want to get through some of my fall list things, and so stay tuned. Thanks again for joining. Bye.